Well, howdy, 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 y'all. Teresa here, and just me. Bradley went to work a little while ago. Yeah. I just been kind of sitting here, just, sitting here. Because some days are just that way. It is December 15th, 2016, Thursday afternoon. It is 4:09 p.m. Can't tell. You know how you think you see? Oh, okay. I'm not wearing any makeup right now. Whatever you see is just leftovers from yesterday. Actually, it isn't any leftovers, so I done washed it all off. You see, I got my hair up in just a messy type of woohoo bun. I call it my woohoo bun because I just put my head down, brush all my hair, twist it in a knot, throw it on top of my head, and go woo. It's honestly about my favorite way to wear my hair. Honestly, it's to just throw it up in a bun because I don't like messing with it, and I don't. If I'm doing any cooking or anything, especially, I don't want food in my hair. So, anyway, that's you guys wanted to know that, right? It's 60 degrees. Real feel is 66. The high will be 64. The low will be 42. It'll be cooler out. You may even have to turn on a little electric heater a little bit. We'll see. Let's see. Yesterday, I picked up the house after Brad went to work. He was sitting here kind of fiddle-farting around, And I finally looked at him and I said, "Don't you have a bit of work at 4? Because he's just taking his time." He goes, "No, it's 5 o'clock." And I said, "No, it's 4 o'clock. And I went through my text messages. He always texts me if there's a schedule change. And I showed him. I said, "See?" And he, "Oh, crap." Because it was like 3:42. We called his boss and said, "I'm going to be a few minutes late." Because he had to run down and take a shower and stuff. His boss wasn't upset or anything. Like, yeah, that's fine. Because he has changed the schedule on Brad like 2 or 3 times. So, yeah. It wasn't a surprise that Brad got a little confused on what he was working. So, yeah, after he went to work, I picked up the house because it was just a mess because we had been doing so many, getting so many packages ready to ship and stuff. So it looked like a cyclone had hit it. And then we were locking the dogs. We have another big kennel, one of those folding metal ones, those great big ones. And we were using it inside here. We would set it up just for when we were going to leave and put the 2 big dogs in it. Well, Charlie has discovered how to undo the door of the kennel, so that's not doing any good. So if we leave them out though, they make kind of a mess because they like throw their little temper tantrums. They're not destroying stuff, but they're throwing stuff. It's hard to describe. You will find, like, my bag of yarn, that the yarn may be strewn around, or you will find that maybe you had a container with assorted, Brad have assorted some of his stuff in it, and that will be tipped over and stuff. They're just naughty, and that insecurity of not wanting to be away from us. What do you call that? He's afraid of being abandoned. The term escapes me. You guys heard me use it many times before, but I don't think that dog Charlie will ever outgrow it. So because we've had him a long time now, so we just have to live with it. And I also loomed and just kind of relaxed. Here's another bag of yarn because they've got this stuff everywhere right now. Let me undo this. I don't know why this yarn is evidently mating. I think it must have fallen and I picked it up in a hurry. But anyway, it's just out of scrap yarn. Just another donation baby hat. And I haven't tucked the ends in yet. It'll be for like a little boy, so Yeah. And just whenever I'm sitting and I'm not doing anything, I'll sit and I'll bust out. I have my bag of scrap yarn and I'll just start, you know. And then I have like some of this off-white stuff and I'll use it. I'll use it with with the scraps and makes a nice little hat that I'll donate. So, let's see what else. I just kind of relaxed, just kind of zoned out. Didn't do much of anything. Watched some YouTube videos, and I think that's about it. I think that's really about it. Um, uh, Fibro update or whatever is you can tell I'm a little foggy today, and also had a bit of a stomach flare up. And I would have thought it was just maybe part of the fibro, but then Brad also was having an upset stomach. We had BLTs for lunch that we made here, and I don't know, his stomach was upset too, so who knows. It might have been that we don't normally eat bacon. That could be it. Or we don't normally eat mayo. That could be it. I don't know. And no, the mayo wasn't spoiled and the bacon wasn't either. So who knows? But I feel okay now. I took some Pepto and stuff. What can I say? Oh, something about my eating is back in control. It's not out of control. I'm not eating in excess like I was there for a while. So one of the things I found that helps me at night, and I don't know if it will help anybody else, is I have gone to taking some hard candy. I have a little container of it in back, and I limit myself to 3 pieces of that a night. And because I'll go back there, and it's just a bad habit that I want to eat something when I go to bed. So that works for me. Just, sucking on a piece of hard candy while I'm reading my Kindle. So, whatever helps. Brad's trying that too now. Like I said, I just feel kind of tired today. But that's just part of life and stuff, and I'll get moving and feel better. My lymphedema is pretty good and stuff. I've been keeping on top of that. Moving around more and stuff helps. This is why I wanted to get help for the fibromyalgia, is that Mobic seems to be enough that it helps, and it's non-narcotic. It's just it's an NSAID, and I'm only taking the 7.5 milligrams, but it's enough, and I'm only taking it once a day right now. That gives me, I'm able to get up and move around more, and if I'm able to move around more, then the lymphedema and the swelling in my feet and stuff is so much better. And overall, the pain in from my hips on down is better, because I have to have a certain amount of mobility and activity every day, or else I really swell up and I'm really in a lot of pain. But it's kind of a double-edged sword. If you're in so much pain that you don't want to move, and then it causes you more pain, and it causes your weight to increase too, because you're not moving and you're bored, so you'll eat more, and then the swelling and more pain, and you hate yourself, and yeah, so, I'm just doing the very best I can, and getting that all under control, and I'm happy with that. I'm also happy with the increased amount on the Lexapro. I went from 10 milligrams to 20, and I've been on the 10 milligrams for 3 years. And so, it was time for a change anyway, and, still a very low dose, and that's all I take for the depression and anxiety. But there's nothing wrong in needing a little bit of help. It's a big genetic factor in my family with my big time in my family, especially on my father's side. We've lost so many people to suicide and stuff. And addictions and stuff are big time. A lot of alcoholics and drug addictions and stuff. And so me having a problem with weight is the least of all the, when I already quit I was really heavy smoker for 28 plus years, 3+ packs a day, and I haven't had a cigarette in 3.5 years. So, it's all good. I'm not cutting anybody down who has the occasional drink or, smokes marijuana. That's all up to you. I don't look down on it, and I don't look down on anybody that smokes. That's up to you too. These were all personal choices I made. And I have friends that do all of that. And I love them. So, I got a clean house today. And then I need to redust the dogs. That diatomaceous, I don't know if I'm saying that right, earth is, I call it the earth now, is working. It's the dogs are not near as uncomfortable, and they don't seem to have near the flea activity, and the few that I've seen are dead when I'm combing out the dogs. But it said sometimes you need to do another dusting after 3 days, and I'm doing another dusting, and they don't mind it at all. In fact, they seem to enjoy it. I did my little dachshund earlier. I'll show you her. I haven't shown you any animals lately. I'll show you her. She's right there sleeping. That's the mama. They're sleeping. Right, Missy? Right, mama? She's sleeping, but she doesn't mind it at all. So I'm taking a duster, and then I rub it in, and it's soothing anyway. So I don't know if I ever showed you guys what it actually looks like. For anybody that hasn't ever used it, I keep it in this container with a lid. I have it labeled, and I used a brand new, still in the package powder puff, and then this is the container, and it's just like cornstarch, and then I just dust it, and then I rub it in, and it works out well. So whatever work takes. So I got a clean house. I redust the dogs. I gotta find my cheat notebook. I moved it so you guys could see the dachshund. There's some more of my cards. And let's see. And I need to make plans for our Christmas. As in, I haven't decided if I'm going to do a little bit of baking in the toaster oven or not for Christmas. There we go. I have to decide that, and with what I can do. I won't do much. I'll do a little bit. I really want to make Rice Krispie treats, and I want to make something gingery. I kind of want to make like some kind of a gingerbread, not gingerbread cookie, but like a gingerbread. And I'd like to get some of those, if they still make them, those slice and bake sugar cookies that I think was Pillsbury did. They had the images. I wanted just to get a roll of those to bake up just to have, I kind of wanted to do a little bit of baking stuff to give to our neighbors and stuff, but I have to see, because, it's not that easy baking that much stuff here. So I don't know. I could bake loaves of stuff, though. You know what I could do, though? You guys have come up with such a great idea. You know what I could do, and I think I will? I could bake loaves of, like, banana bread. Or if I find a good gingerbread recipe. Or a good pumpkin bread recipe. Or I could even make those monkey pull-aparts in loaf pans. The aluminum loaf pans, and then give them to some of our neighbors here in the RV park. Now this excites me. This really excites me. That would be perfect. You know what? And to give it to them right before Christmas. So that way, if they didn't really have anything they would do on Christmas morning, they've got that. That would be super. I think I'm going to do that. I got to research that out because that would not be that hard to do, especially making, those monkey, is it called the monkey pull apart or something like that? You all know what I'm talking about. Either that or something that would be nice to have that you could slice in the morning. I'm thinking of something that's kind of cinnamony, almost like cinnamon rolls, but it's in a loaf pan. That would be awesome. I think that's what I'm going to do. I better write that down right now. Thank you for helping me. See? Yeah, those pull parts, and you can, and I'll just make them more cinnamony. And that way, that's awesome. Because, let's see. Let's see. I only have 3 or 4 I probably would do that for here in the RV park. Let's see. 3. 3 people that are real good friends of ours. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. That will be easy to do. And then put a nice tag on it and a nice little bow. And Merry Christmas from us. I'm a weirdo that way. I love doing that kind of stuff. That to me is what holidays is about, is baking and giving a nice plate of some kind of homemade baked goods or something, and just doing something nice, that somebody didn't expect, like I helped my friend, and she would have never have asked for it, but I gave her those scarves and stuff, and that's the kind of stuff I love. Like I said, every Christmas we've always helped somebody, in different way, ever since we've been together. So yeah, I'm gonna make that. And then I'm gonna make the 7-layer dip. I always make that Mexican 7-layer dip for the holidays, for Christmas Eve. I always make that, and that's been a tradition for so long with us. And Brad really loves that. But you know what? I've recently gotten away from doing the refried bean, and what we really enjoy even more than that is those black beans. The cans of the black beans. And what we do, and when we make our taco meat, is we just add a can of the black beans in with our meat. And we really, really like that. So I'll probably do that this year instead of the refried beans. And then, you eat it with tortilla chips. It's really nice because you make it before, we don't have anything going on Christmas Eve, but you make it before, so that way if you did have something going on Christmas Eve or something, it's already in the fridge. Everybody can grab a bowl and the chips, and it takes a lot of work off of you. And then we're just gonna have, we have to sit down and plan this out. We're gonna have a ham, and not sure what else with it. And I might need to cook that the day before, like Christmas Eve day, because we wanted to go fishing Christmas Day, unless the weather was not good. We got in our 8-foot fishing poles. In fact, they're up there. That's what we each got one for Christmas, because we didn't have any saltwater fishing poles and anything bigger like that. So, we were talking about we wanted to go fishing, and that would be nice. That would be really nice. And we could even cook part of that, and then come home from fishing and cook, just warm stuff up, and that would be nice. So that's what we're gonna do. What are you guys gonna do? Are you celebrating Christmas? Are you not celebrating Christmas? Are you gonna be out of town? Or are you, are you putting on a big shindig, or are you going over to somebody's house? It's just us, but it's been just us for a really long time, and this has been really healing, moving. We don't have to put up with the family drama or feeling left out any longer. And that'll be one of my topics for today, is realizing that some relationships just won't ever be what you wanted them to be, and that's okay, that everybody is different. Just because you're one certain way in a family or one certain way just in life doesn't mean that a relative, a relation is going to be like you. We are all very different. I am extremely different than the rest of my family. Always have been, all growing up and stuff, been very, very different than the rest of my family. And in fact, Brad still says, "Are you sure you're not adopted?" And that's okay. I mean, I don't need to be like the rest of my family. And furthermore, my grown children and grown children and stuff don't need to be anything like me. I mean, I've always been a housewife, basically. Even though I have different degrees and stuff, and this is just what I've enjoyed doing. Is spending time with my children, and then crafts and stuff like that. Selling crafts and artwork. And my grown daughters are both career women. We both have very good careers and stuff, and that is, great for them. But sometimes you realize that you probably aren't ever going to be close, because there just doesn't seem to be, if you don't have that communication gap, you'll never have it bridged where there's some better communication. It's probably just never going to be. And you just have to leave that door open. And, if things change in the future, great. If not, okay. Just keep the love in your heart and just accept what is. You can't make anybody be a certain way. And I think so many times in families, that's the dynamics of what really fail us, is trying to make somebody be the way we think they should be. And it just never will be. I've always been a huge disappointment to my mother, because I've never been the way she wanted me to be. And I don't even know which way that was. But I can't be anything other than myself. And that was her problem, not mine. It took me a lot of years of counseling and stuff to be able to say that it's her problem, not mine. That, I can't be anybody than myself. I could pretend to be somebody else, but then you'd never know me. And my other thing is, I make it, and this is just my personal philosophy, with no matter how I feel physically or mentally, each day, I make myself get up and get dressed. In fact, Brad knows that living here and stuff, because I sleep in the bedroom now with the dogs. And before I even come up, I'll get up and go to the restroom, then I'll go back and sit on the bed, and I get dressed before I even come out of the bedroom and stuff. I am dressed. And that's just my own personal thing. Because I grew up with a mother who did not get dressed very often, and she would stay in her nightgown all day. And okay, I don't want this to sound bad. They were short nightgowns, and they were rather see-through, and it wasn't like wearing your pajama pants and a t-shirt all day. No, it was a nightgown all day long. And what she did was basically just lay on the couch and smoke and have the curtains drawn. And I think that's why I have to be able to see outside and have sunlight, and I think for me, and if anybody knocked on the door, it's something, it was a hurry scurry, and she would go running around the corner and stuff, You certainly couldn't answer the door like that. But to me, it's almost like, and just with my background stuff, like not facing the reality, because you'll just stay in your nightgown and lay around and read and not engage in life. And like I said, I'm not looking down on anybody who likes to stay in their pajama pants. I tell you what, if I had some cute pajama pants, I probably would too, because those are nice. You know, and a t-shirt. You know, I make sure every day I, um, uh, get dressed with a bra on, because inevitably, you'll have somebody knocking on the door, and I'm, you know, well enough endowed that, I cannot go without a bra. Uh, you know, living here, having to go outside and stuff, except for no bra Sunday. Love no bra Sunday. But, and I think too, it's just a ritual of making sure that I get up, that 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 I am bathed, that I am take the time to put the lotion on, puts lotion on its skin, and deodorant, and I always wear some perfume. I always have my hair brushed, even if it's in this messy bun. This is after I laid down for a little bit because my stomach was hurting. But that I'm dressed and ready for the day, teeth brushed. Big thing for me, new thing for me, is making sure that I go ahead and cleanse my face. I used to not, but I take a baby wipe and, just because it feels so good, and then I put a little bit of lotion on every day on my face, and it's just that self-care. It's almost like that self-love of you're worth it to spend 5 minutes even, So, and it just makes me feel more engaged, even if I'm doing nothing that day but staying inside this RV and cleaning and stuff like that. That I'm still engaged in life. Because otherwise, I think you kind of feel hopeless. If you see nothing but what's on TV and just what's out your window, I think you feel very what's on YouTube, you feel very hopeless and like life is passing you by. So anyway, that's all that I got going on here. Like I said, even if you feel really left out and maybe you don't have any family around and stuff, if you bake cookies, give them out to people. You'll be surprised how many people really, really, really still love that. I still love that. And like that, I'm going to make some of those pull parts, because I can do those. And I can do like loaf pans in my toaster oven very well. I can do a couple of them at a time. So that will work out great. So anyway, I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so much. And I think you guys are awesome. And hang in there. 10 days till Christmas. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.